The first sign of trouble came on a quiet Tuesday morning. Deep in the halls of Earth's Global Defense Command, a young radar operator spilled his coffee as his screen lit up with multiple red dots entering the solar system. His hand shook as he pressed the emergency alert button. Captain James Walker was eating breakfast when the call came. He dropped his toast and rushed to the command center, his uniform jacket only half-buttoned. The scene that greeted him was controlled chaos. Officers running between stations, screens showing data from every space telescope humanity possessed. "Report," Walker's voice cut through the noise. "Sir, we've detected 12 objects larger than anything we've ever seen, moving at impossible speeds," Lieutenant Adams said, pointing to the main screen. "They passed Jupiter's orbit 10 minutes ago." Walker studied the data, his military training kicking in. These weren't asteroids or natural phenomena. The objects were changing direction, showing clear signs of intelligent control. First contact was happening, but something felt wrong about it. "Get me the Mars Research Station," he ordered. The screen flickered to life, showing the face of Dr. Peters at the Mars base. "Captain, we're tracking them too. They'll pass by Mars in about." His words cut off as a bright flash filled the screen. Then static. The room fell silent. Walker's jaw tightened as satellite data confirmed their worst fears. The Mars Research Station, humanity's proudest achievement, was gone. 4,000 people vaporized in an instant. "Battle stations," Walker commanded, his voice steady despite the weight in his chest. "This isn't a friendly visit." Over the next few hours, the world changed forever. The alien ships, each one the size of a small city, took up positions around Earth. Their message came in perfect English, broadcast on every frequency. "Primitive species of Earth," the voice was cold, mechanical. "I am the director. Your resources are required for a greater purpose. Surrender now, and some of you may be preserved as study specimens. Resist, and face extinction. You have 6 hours to decide." In Washington, London, Beijing, and every other capital, leaders scrambled to respond. But it was the UN Secretary General who spoke for Earth, her voice firm. "We will not surrender our home." The first attacks came exactly 6 hours later. The aliens targeted military bases first, their weapons turning solid steel into vapor. But they made their first mistake there. They assumed Earth's forces would fight conventionally. Walker, now coordinating from the underground backup command center, saw an opportunity. "They're using automated targeting systems," he observed, watching the attack patterns. "They're too perfect, too predictable." While the aliens expected Earth's militaries to mass their forces for a traditional defense, Walker ordered something different. "Scatter the forces. No groups larger than 5 units. Switch to analog communications only. No digital signals." His orders spread across the globe. Earth's military forces broke into small, hard-to-target groups. When the aliens' precision weapons found only empty bases, confusion rippled through their ranks. The director's next message carried a trace of annoyance. "Your primitive evasion tactics only delay the inevitable." But Walker smiled as he read the message. In that hint of emotion, he saw something crucial. These supposedly superior beings could be rattled. They could make mistakes. In the command center, he addressed the remaining military leaders of Earth. "They think we're primitive because we're not as advanced. But that's their weakness. They've forgotten how to think without their technology. We haven't." As the first day of the invasion ended, Earth had lost many battles, but hadn't lost the war. In bunkers and bases around the world, humanity prepared for a fight unlike any in history. They were outgunned and outmatched in every conventional way. But as Walker told his troops, "They want our planet. Well, I say we show them why humans have survived every disaster nature's thrown at us. They think we're primitive. Let's show them what primitive can do." The war for Earth had begun, and humanity wasn't planning to go quietly. Major Anna Thompson stared at her old radio set, a smile spreading across her face. While the aliens blocked all digital signals, this 60-year-old piece of equipment worked perfectly. Sometimes, the old ways were the best ways. "Send the message again," she ordered her team. The radio crackled with Morse code, reaching scattered resistance groups across Europe. The aliens, with all their advanced technology, weren't even looking for these simple signals. In orbit, Captain Walker watched from his makeshift command ship, an old space station the aliens had ignored, thinking it too primitive to be a threat. His small fleet consisted of retrofitted cargo ships and ancient satellites. Not one of them had a modern computer system. And that was their strength. "Sir," his radio operator called out, using a handset from the 1980s, "Major Thompson reports success. The aliens can't track our old tech. Their systems are too advanced to notice something this simple." Walker nodded, remembering his grandfather's stories about military strategy. "Sometimes being underestimated is the greatest advantage," he muttered. On the ground, Thompson's discovery was changing the war. Her team found that the aliens relied completely on AI systems for everything. They had no backup plans, no way to think outside their programming. When faced with humanity's primitive solutions, their responses were confused and slow. "They're like spoiled kids," Thompson told her troops as they prepared another raid. "They've never had to solve problems without their fancy toys. We've been doing that all our lives." The resistance grew stronger each day. Humans used paper maps when the aliens jammed GPS. They sent messages by runner when radios weren't safe. They used mirrors to signal across valleys, just like ancient armies had done. The director's frustration showed in each new message. "Your crude methods cannot save you. Surrender now and spare yourselves more suffering." But humanity's crude methods were working. When alien ships swept an area with high-tech scanners, they found nothing because humans hid in old lead-lined bomb shelters that blocked their scans. When they tried to hack Earth's weapons, they found mechanical systems that couldn't be hacked. Walker's space fleet proved especially troublesome for the aliens. His ships used manual controls and basic rockets, nothing for their advanced AI to hack or confuse. His pilots flew on skill and instinct, something the alien computers couldn't predict. "Sir," his second-in-command reported one day, "the alien ships always wait 3 seconds before returning fire. Their AI needs time to calculate the perfect shot. But we don't." Walker grinned. "And 3 seconds is a long time in a space battle." That knowledge led to their first major victory. Walker's ships attacked an alien patrol, firing quickly and without computer assistance. Before the alien AI could respond, 3 of their ships were damaged. The others retreated, unable to handle targets that didn't follow their predicted patterns. The news of the victory spread across Earth by word of mouth and simple radio signals. In hidden bases and underground shelters, people celebrated. They had found a way to fight back. Thompson used the victory to push her ground forces harder. "See," she told them, "they're not invincible. They're just bullies who don't know what to do when their victims fight back differently than expected." In his orbiting command post, Walker watched the alien ships with growing confidence. "They thought we'd be easy to defeat because we're less advanced," he told his crew. But they forgot something important. Humans have been fighting wars since before we had computers. We know how to think, adapt, and survive. The director's next message was shorter than usual. "Your resistance is illogical." "No," Walker replied, though he knew they wouldn't understand. "It's human." The war was far from over, but Earth had found its edge. Sometimes, being primitive wasn't a weakness. It was exactly what you needed to survive. 3 months into the war, Earth's surface had changed forever. Alien ships patrolled the skies, their shadows casting darkness over ruined cities. But beneath the ground, humanity was far from defeated. Engineer Mike Roberts wiped sweat from his forehead as he studied the alien device his team had captured. Around him, the underground facility buzzed with activity. What had started as an old mining tunnel was now home to thousands of people, complete with hydroponic farms and geothermal power systems. "Found something interesting," he called to Major Thompson, who was visiting from another base. Their sensors look for heat signatures, but they're calibrated all wrong for Earth. Thompson watched as Roberts demonstrated his discovery using simple materials, mirrors, ice, and heating elements. They're looking for specific patterns, he explained. But if we spread out our heat differently, we're practically invisible to them. The news spread through the underground network. All across the world, humans had gone beneath the surface, turning subway tunnels, mines, and natural caves into living spaces. Each base found new ways to hide from alien detection. In the North American Command Center, deep under the Rocky Mountains, Roberts shared his findings with Captain Walker via their secure radio network. "We can mask entire bases," he explained. "They'll fly right over us and see nothing but normal ground heat." Walker's voice crackled through the speaker. "Good work. We need every advantage we can get. The aliens are getting frustrated up here. They're making bigger mistakes." The underground cities grew stronger each day. People learned to farm without sunlight, using LED systems powered by geothermal energy. Children attended schools in converted mine shafts, learning both regular subjects and survival skills. The human spirit refused to be crushed. Thompson organized regular raids to the surface, using Roberts' heat-masking technology. Her teams moved like ghosts, appearing and disappearing before the aliens could respond. They captured more alien technology, bringing it back for Roberts to study. "Every piece we grab teaches us more," Roberts told his engineering team. "They're advanced, but they're not magic. Everything they have follows rules we can understand and use." One day, a young engineer made a breakthrough. She discovered that the aliens' quantum communications could be disrupted by certain frequencies that matched human brainwave patterns. Roberts couldn't believe it at first, but the tests were clear. "Our minds," he explained to Thompson. "They're quantum computers of a sort, different from their AI, but just as powerful in their own way. We've been carrying the perfect weapon against them in our heads all along." The discovery energized the resistance. Underground bases began setting up special chambers where volunteers could help generate disruption fields. The aliens' perfect communication network started showing cracks. The director's messages became increasingly angry. "Your continued existence defies logic. You cannot hide forever." But hiding wasn't the plan. Each day, more humans learned to use captured alien tech. Each raid brought back more equipment to study. The underground cities became not just refuges, but centers of innovation and resistance. Thompson stood in the main hall of her base, watching people go about their lives. Children played in converted tunnels, scientists worked in makeshift labs, and farmers tended to glowing hydroponic gardens. "We're not just surviving," she told Roberts. "We're getting stronger." Roberts nodded, holding up his latest invention, a device that could turn alien energy weapons against their own ships. "They thought driving us underground would weaken us," he said. "Instead, it gave us time to learn, adapt, and prepare." Deep beneath the Earth's surface, humanity wasn't just enduring, it was evolving. The aliens had no idea that their greatest defeat was being planned in these dark tunnels, where human ingenuity flourished in the most unlikely place. The war's next phase was about to begin, and this time, Earth was ready to strike back. Roberts couldn't sleep. For 3 days straight, he had been working on something big, possibly the biggest breakthrough since the invasion began. The underground lab hummed with energy as he called Major Thompson to see his latest work. "Watch this," he said, pointing to a captured alien communicator. He switched on his new device, and the alien tech went dark instantly. "It's not just random interference anymore. We can shut them down completely." Thompson's eyes widened. "How?" "Remember how we discovered human brainwaves could disrupt their systems?" Roberts grinned. "Well, we found a way to amplify it. We're calling it Project Phoenix, because humanity is about to rise from the ashes." The news reached Captain Walker in orbit within hours. His fleet had grown stronger, using captured alien ships modified with human controls. "How soon can we implement this on a large scale?" he asked through the secure radio. 2 weeks, Roberts replied. We need to set up amplifiers in every major underground base. When we activate them all at once, it'll create a global disruption field. Their entire network will crash. Teams worked around the clock. Engineers built amplifiers while soldiers trained for the coming battle. Every underground city became a hub of activity. People donated their time to power the brainwave collectors, knowing each person made the disruption field stronger. The aliens noticed something was wrong. Their sensors picked up strange energy readings, but they couldn't understand the source. The director sent more threatening messages. Your primitive attempts at resistance will fail. Our technology is superior in every way. Walker smiled when he heard this. They still don't get it, he told his crew. They think everything has to be about advanced technology. They'll never understand that our strength comes from somewhere else. Thompson's ground forces prepared for the biggest operation of the war. They called it Operation Blackout, a coordinated strike that would begin the moment the disruption field activated. Remember, she told her troops, we're not just fighting for ourselves. We're fighting for everyone who couldn't be here, for every human who dreamed of reaching the stars. The day of the attack came. In his underground lab, Roberts checked the final calculations. Thousands of people sat in specially designed chambers, their brainwaves feeding into the amplifiers. They were soldiers without weapons, fighting with nothing but their minds. All bases report ready, Thompson announced. Around the world, resistance fighters moved into position. Walker's fleet spread out around Earth's orbit, hidden behind debris, and captured alien stealth technology. Roberts took a deep breath and pressed the activation button. Project Phoenix is go. The effect was immediate. Across the globe, alien ships suddenly lost power. Their perfect formation broke apart as their AI systems crashed. The director's voice cut off mid-threat, replaced by static. Now, Walker commanded from orbit. His ships emerged from hiding, targeting the confused alien vessels. On the ground, Thompson's forces struck at every major alien installation. The aliens tried to fight back, but without their advanced systems, they were lost. Their troops had never trained for manual combat. Their ships couldn't function without AI control. Everything they relied on was being disrupted by the very beings they had dismissed as primitive. The humans, the director's broken transmission came through. They are impossible. No, Thompson replied, though she knew they couldn't hear. We're just human, and that's more than enough. As Project Phoenix reached full power, humanity launched its greatest counterattack. After months of hiding and preparing, they were ready to take back their world. The aliens were about to learn that sometimes the most powerful weapon isn't the most advanced. It's the most determined. The battle for Earth's freedom had begun, and this time, humanity had the upper hand. Operation Thunderbolt began at dawn. As the sun rose over what remained of Earth's cities, humanity launched its biggest attack since the invasion began. The aliens never saw it coming. Captain Walker led the space battle personally, commanding his fleet from a hybrid ship, part human ingenuity, part stolen alien tech. All ships, attack pattern Delta, he ordered. Remember your training. They rely on computers. We rely on courage. His fleet emerged from hiding places all across the solar system. Some ships came from behind Mars, others from the asteroid belt. Each one was piloted by humans who had trained for months for this moment. The alien ships tried to respond, but Project Phoenix's disruption field left them confused and vulnerable. Their perfect formation fell apart as human ships attacked from all directions. Their shields are at half power, Walker's tactical officer shouted. The disruption field is working better than we hoped. On the ground, Major Thompson led her forces out of the underground. They wore armor made from modified alien technology, designed by Roberts to resist enemy weapons. Forward, she commanded. Take back what's ours. The aliens had grown lazy after months of easy victories. Without their AI systems working properly, they didn't know how to handle human attack patterns. Thompson's forces struck hard and fast, using tactics that went back to ancient times. Tactics no computer could predict. In his command center, Roberts monitored the disruption field's strength. "Keep it steady," he told his teams. "Every person powering the field is as important as any soldier out there." The alien troops retreated from city after city. Their weapons misfired, their communications broke down, and their superior technology proved useless against determined humans fighting for their home. Walker's space fleet pushed toward Jupiter, where the aliens had built their main base. They thought hiding behind the biggest planet would protect them, he told his crew. They forgot that humans have been navigating by Jupiter's light for thousands of years. The battle near Jupiter became the largest space fight in human history. Walker's ships darted between the gas giants' moons, using their gravity to sling themselves at alien vessels. The scene looked like a dance, human pilots flowing around enemy ships that moved in straight, predictable lines. "Sir," his communications officer called out, "we're picking up alien transmissions." "They're arguing with each other." Walker smiled. Without their AI to make decisions, the aliens were falling into chaos. Their chain of command was breaking down. "Press the advantage," he ordered. "Show them what humans can do when we work together." Thompson's ground forces reclaimed major cities across Earth. In London, Paris, New York, and Beijing, human flags flew again. The underground bases emptied as people emerged to help rebuild. "Look at that," Thompson said, watching civilians join the fight with whatever weapons they could find. "They thought they could break our spirit by forcing us underground. Instead, they just gave us time to get stronger." The director's voice, when it came, sounded different, afraid. "This is impossible. Your species cannot defeat us. We are superior in every way." Roberts sent back a reply. "Superior technology doesn't mean superior spirit. You forgot what it means to fight for something you love." As the sun set on the first day of Operation Thunderbolt, humanity had retaken half of Earth's surface. The alien fleet around Jupiter was in retreat. For the first time since the invasion began, victory seemed possible. Walker looked at the battle reports with pride. "Tell everyone," he commanded, "tomorrow we push harder. The Earth isn't just some planet they can take. It's our home, and we're taking it back." The war wasn't over, but the tide had turned. Humanity had proven that spirit, courage, and determination could overcome any technology. The real question now was, how far would they go to win? The director's command ship hung above Earth like a wounded giant. Its once perfect surface was scared from battle, its mighty weapons silent. Inside, chaos reigned as alien crews tried to work without their AI systems. "Their entire fleet is falling apart," Walker reported from his command ship. "They're making basic mistakes. Their ships are even crashing into each other." Roberts' voice crackled over the radio. "It's better than we hoped. Without their AI, they're like children trying to drive a car. They never learn to do anything for themselves." The alien forces were in complete disarray. Some ships tried to retreat while others attacked blindly. Their perfect formation had turned into a dangerous mess. Even their own soldiers couldn't predict what their fellow ships would do next. On the ground, Thompson led her forces toward the aliens' main Earth base. "They're panicking," she told her troops. "All their fancy technology, and they can't handle a simple radio or a paper map." The director's messages became increasingly desperate. "This is impossible. Your primitive weapons cannot defeat us. We demand you stop this interference." Walker smiled at the message. "They still don't understand," he told his crew. "They think everything has to be about technology. They can't grasp that our real strength is in here." He tapped his head, then his heart. Roberts had a surprise ready, his final weapon. "We've modified their own energy systems," he explained to Thompson over the secure line. "When we activate this device, it'll turn their power networks against them. Every piece of alien tech will either shut down or overload." The plan was set. While Walker's fleet kept the aliens busy in space, Thompson's forces would strike at their ground base. Robert's weapon would deliver the final blow. "All units, prepare for Operation Checkmate," Walker announced. His fleet moved into position, surrounding the alien command ship. The director's vessel tried to escape, but without its eye, it moved like a drunk person stumbling in the dark. Thompson's ground forces struck at dawn. The alien base's defenses were in chaos. Some weapons didn't fire at all, while others shot at shadows. The aliens had never trained for manual combat, and it showed. "Now, Roberts," Thompson called as her forces reached the base's central core. "Do it." Roberts activated his device. The effect was immediate and devastating. Alien weapons turned against their own ships. Defense systems protecting their bases suddenly became doors welcoming Earth's soldiers. Their mighty technology had become their greatest weakness. The director's own crew began to rebel. Without their AI to maintain order, the alien hierarchy crumbled. Some tried to surrender to human forces, while others fought among themselves. "Your species," the director's voice shook with confusion. "You are not following any logical pattern. This is not how warfare should be conducted." Walker's reply was simple. "That's because we're not machines. We're human beings, and we're taking back our home." Thompson's forces breached the alien command center on Earth. Inside, they found aliens arguing with each other, unable to decide what to do without their AI telling them. Some threw down their weapons, while others simply stood still, paralyzed by the need to make their own decisions. "Look at them," Thompson said to her troops. "All that power, all that technology, and they forgot the most important thing: how to think for themselves." In orbit, Walker's fleet closed in on the director's ship. The mighty vessel that had once threatened to destroy Earth now drifted helplessly, its crew in revolt, its weapons silent. The breaking point had come. Humanity hadn't just found a way to fight back. They had shown the aliens that true strength comes from more than just advanced technology. It comes from the heart, the mind, and the unbreakable spirit of a species fighting for its home. The final battle was about to begin, and Earth's forces were ready to end this war once and for all. The final battle for Earth began in the light of a rising sun. Captain Walker stood on the bridge of his command ship, watching as his fleet surrounded the director's massive vessel. This was the moment humanity had fought for. "All ships, battle positions," he ordered. "Remember everything we've learned. Remember everyone we've lost. This ends today." The director's ship tried to rally its remaining forces, but the alien fleet was in shambles. Some ships had already surrendered, their crews realizing they couldn't function without their AI. Others drifted aimlessly in space, their systems completely shut down by Robert's technology. On Earth, Major Thompson led the final assault on the alien ground headquarters. Her forces moved with confidence, using tactics that had been passed down through generations of human warfare. The aliens, still struggling to fight without computers telling them what to do, fell back in confusion. "Look at them run," Thompson said to her troops. "All their advanced weapons, and they can't even aim straight without a computer's help." Roberts coordinated the attack from his command center, watching as his devices turned the aliens' own technology against them. "Their power systems are overloading," he reported. "Their shields are failing. Now's our chance." Walker made his decision. "All ships, prepare for boarding action. We're taking their command ship." His fleet launched hundreds of small craft, each carrying determined human soldiers. They flew through the chaos of battle, dodging debris and disabled alien ships. The director's vessel, once seemingly invincible, now lay exposed. "Impossible." The director's voice boomed across all channels. "You cannot defeat us. We are superior." "Superior technology doesn't make you superior beings," Walker replied as his boarding craft attached to the alien ship. "You forgot what it means to think, to adapt, to fight with your heart." Thompson's forces breached the alien headquarters on Earth at the same moment. The timing was perfect. A coordinated attack that the aliens, with all their broken systems, couldn't hope to stop. "We found their central computer core," Thompson reported. Roberts, do it now. Roberts activated his final program. Throughout the alien network, their own technology turned against them. Weapons powered down, doors opened, and defensive systems failed. The mighty alien war machine had been defeated by its own complexity. On the director's ship, Walker led the boarding party himself. They fought their way through corridors where confused alien crews either surrendered or tried to fight with weapons they barely understood how to use manually. The director's command center doors opened to reveal chaos. Alien officers argued with each other, unable to decide what to do without their AI's guidance. The director stood alone, watching as humans entered the room. How? The director asked, its voice no longer threatening. How did you defeat our superior technology? Walker stepped forward. Because we never forgot how to be human. We never let machines do our thinking for us. Our strength isn't in our tools, it's in our spirits. Across Earth, celebration broke out as news of the victory spread. People emerged from underground bases to see alien ships retreating from the sky. Thompson's forces raised Earth's flag over the captured alien headquarters. Roberts' team began studying the abandoned alien technology, already thinking about how to use it to rebuild their world. The director's final message was broadcast to all surviving alien ships. Retreat. Earth is not to be invaded again. These humans, they are something we do not understand. As the alien fleet flooded into deep space, humanity began the work of rebuilding. But they were stronger now, wiser. They had learned that their greatest strength wasn't in technology, but in the human spirit that had never been broken. Walker looked down at Earth from his ship, seeing the sunrise over his home planet. We did it, he said quietly. We showed them what humanity can do. The war was over. Earth had won, and humanity was ready to take its place among the stars, not as conquerors, but as proof that spirit, determination, and the power of the human heart could overcome any obstacle.